There we go. All right, there, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the 7 o'clock slot, or Liverpool Transfer Daily, as we like to call it as well, with the transfer window open. Got a fair bit to talk about today. Kind of stopped the streams over the weekend with this transfer window shutting and everything like that. But we're back today. The window actually open again today, didn't it? So it's open. People are open for business right now. So let's see what happens. Obviously, as well, guys, we are in partnership with Number 19 Apparel, who provided these T-shirts that we've got on right now. And their site is going across the bottom of the screen right now. Number 19 Apparel Co. They will be showing their face on the channel at some point shortly. Right then, Shauna, how's things with you? We haven't spoke for a while, like on stream.
Yeah.
How's everything going?
Everything well. I mean, apart from my mother not being well, I brought my dad out for Father's Day, and that was about it, really. Back has been all right, to be honest with you. But other than that, I've been. I was going to do a couple of videos, considering you weren't well, but no. Look, I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy out. I'm keeping an ear to the ground with regards to the transfer, because I'm kind of starting to panic a bit.
Yeah, which is fine, mate. And I guess we'll segue into that right now. Just make sure you're hitting that like button, guys, as you're joining and you're coming in. We've already got Gavin Morgan with us. Evening, Gavin. And we've also got Cranky JD as well. Evening, Cranky. Hope you're doing well, boys. Right then, Sean, I'll hand over to you, mate, because you did do the videos. I've not had a chance to put them up, but we'll talk about it now on the stream. So you start where you want to start, mate.
So first of all, I had to condense the thing, and plus the sound was brutal and the quality was brutal, so it'd be waste of time looking at it. Yeah, so obviously Thursday was the press conference, and fucking El Trent fucking talking in fluent Spanish, and very considerate of Trent to have just Trent on the back. You have to think of the Spanish fans of his. He thought that maybe Alexander-Arnold would have been a bit of a mouthful on the jersey. But he was speaking fluent Spanish, and everyone hit the bloody... I mean, they went apeshit. They went absolutely apeshit. They were like, this must have been happening for a while now. If Nunez had the same commitment to learn the language of the country that he's playing in, as Trent has, I mean, would be very happy, because there's clearly communication issues there with Nunez. This is offside, Nunez, and this is the goal. Try and scoring it. But there's clearly communication problems there. But the whole thing about Trent, people are saying this has been, this is not an overnight kind of, Spanish lesson. He's been doing that for quite some time. And that may be true, but a lot of people are forgetting that he has a Spanish girlfriend.
Does he?
So he might want to whisper sweet nothings in his girlfriend's ear. He might want to do that in Spanish. So apparently his girlfriend is Spanish. Now, whether he has learned Spanish from the last contract he signed to when Jude didn't sign with Liverpool, I don't know, and I don't give a shit. I really don't. He's gone. Sayonara. Bye-bye. There's nothing we can do. Whether he's fluent in I don't know, in what's the goddamn thing in Star Trek?
Klingon.
If he's fluent in Klingon, I couldn't give a damn. Could not give a damn. It is what it is. He's now, he's made his bed. He can lie in it. A great respect for him for what he's achieved at the club. But as far as loyalty to him is now concerned, as soon as he got on the plane, his little private jet, and putting on his white shirt and what have you, then all loyalty went. And he shouldn't expect any more than that. As far as I'm concerned, I'm more interested in the present and the future of the club. And as everyone says, there is no player bigger than Liverpool Football Club. So we're done.
Yeah, and I guess just one last thing to top that off is I would just like to say that I guess that backs up what we were saying when we were talking about it last year. That, well, I was saying it anyways, and other people as well, that he's probably had this planned for years. He's probably had this planned for years. I won't even be surprised if it goes back to the time he signed his last contract. But hey, as you say, we move on.
Doesn't matter.
Before you go on to the next one, Sean, I just want to catch up with some of the comments we've got coming in. We've got Evening Jen. Hope you're doing well, love.
Hey, Jen.
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better now, Jen. Hell of a lot better, to be fair. Gavin, if Robbo joins Atletico and doesn't sound like Rabsi Nesbitt trying to speak Spanish, I'll be raging. Jen says that Trent is nothing. We've got Carl with us as well. Evening, Carl. Hope you're doing well, mate. Got Gary Richards as well.
Ballyho.
Have you got the shandies in? I've got a protein shake today.
I've nothing. I didn't bring anything with me. I kind of feel a little bit hard done by.
What's your next topic then, mate, that you wanted to talk about? Was it Robbo or was it or something?
Well, no. I mean, I wanted to bring up trimming down the squad. Now, obviously, is this a necessity or is this recouping money spent? And the danger of leaving positions short, is this going to force selling key players? So I've a list here. So possible players to leave Liverpool. So we know, obviously, there's talks of Robbo going. So that looks to be, one of the main guys that are going. We've got Nunez. Time is up, well over. He's had time to sort out his language, his communication skills, whatever. He hasn't done that, and he hasn't found the goals. He's missed too many sitters for me, and we're not like a crash. At the end of the day, you got to hit the ground running. He's had plenty of opportunity, and that's it. Diaz, obviously, Barcelona are always knocking at the door. If we could get a good bit of money, he could be used as a Coutinho. We could bring in maybe two good players with that money. I would hate to see him go, but I think, if he was to go, we'd have Chiesa and Gakpo, looking for that left.
Before you go any further, I just want to ask everyone, in the chat and yourself as well, am I the only one that doesn't really care if Diaz goes? I'm sorry, but to become in as the Mane replacement, you have not lived up to that bill, mate. I think he had a decent start to the season last year, him and Gakpo, when they were both vying for it. But I think they both kind of dropped off a cliff a little. Not dropped off a cliff, maybe that's a little bit too much of a dramatic
I think Diaz did more so. I don't think.
And Diaz, for me, is one of the most frustrating players we've had over the past couple of seasons. He can run with the ball, take people on, but then he does nothing with it. He loses the ball by keeping hold of it too much, too long. So me personally, if we can get, anything between 70 and 80 for him, I'm happy to see the back of him, to be fair.
Yeah,
we can definitely upgrade on that position, and I think Gakpo is better than him anyway.
It depends on the money that we get. I mean, if we can milk it for all it's worth and get 120, 130. I mean, if the Saudis want to go and spend that money for Diaz to fly over to them and play in front of 300 people, fine, I'm delighted. And then we can obviously do something with that money. If it's not to recoup for what we've already bought, only for those reasons, would I take any money over 100 million so that we can buy players, not to recoup what we've already spent. We've got Diego Jota, great finisher, but too injury prone. We can't depend on him. Obviously, the first injury he had in the last season wasn't his fault. Someone landed on him. But, again, he kind of takes a dip in the second half of the season and is just not reliable. Harvey Elliott, he's been talking about leaving the club if he doesn't get first-team football. I can't see him getting first-team football, and therefore I think he's gone. Kwanzaa, tell me, when will you be mine? I don't know why this didn't catch on. Kwanzaa, I think, is a player that as soon as something bad happens in the game, you were saying this, Adam, that he's out for the rest of the game. I think he's had a few personal issues this season. That's kind of, not been great with him. And I don't think he's the player that he said he was when Matip was injured. He was talking about, this is my opportunity to shine. I don't think he's been at the races at all. So I wouldn't mind him going, but it all depends on the next couple of moves and what players go with them. Konate. I wouldn't like to see Konate leave because we need backup in the centre back position. It is thin and worse than my hairline, and no amount of regain is going to help. If they don't look at the centre back position, we may be caught and left short. Now, the big question, obviously Robbo's leaving. High possibility Robbo's leaving. Tsimikas, is he going to leave?
I can't see a world in where Liverpool sell both of them this summer. Like, when I did that Robbo video the other day, I was thinking to myself, well, is this just a play for him to get another contract because his contract's end at next year? I mean, I don't know. Like, maybe like as well, he's not wanting to be a bit part player, knowing that Kirkes is going to come in and be number one, basically. Maybe he wants first team football, and if Liverpool can't give him it, he'll go get it elsewhere. I mean, either way, if Robbo goes, like, he goes, my blessing. Like, he's probably been like probably the most value heavy transfer in Premier League history. Like, I would say anyway, especially in my lifetime. Like, signing for 8 million and he becomes like probably the best left back in the world for a couple of seasons. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Like, it was a shock when we saw that one that came through. Like,
absolutely, yeah, I was shocked.
I just want to catch up on some of these comments because I'm cautious that we're not touching on any of them. But Jen's asked, "What's the latest with Kirkes?" I'll have a look. We've got an article loaded up, Jen, so I'll pop that up when we get to it. Jen says we have to trim the squad. Gavin Morgan, according to Lewis Steele, we're not finished in this window. Kwanzaa, Elliott, Nunez, Costas, and some of the youngsters will go, Jen says. Diaz will not go to Barca as they're all in for Nico Williams, apparently. Cranky JD thinks Diaz will... I don't think Diaz will leave as Barca are chasing Williams. Gavin Morgan's with me. We've got Eddie with us. I hope you're doing well, mate. He agrees with me on the Diaz. Gareth says that Diaz is very replaceable. I almost said that Gareth is replaceable then.
Clearly not. He's the quiz winner.
I think that's a different Gareth.
With that shit.
Carl says I like Diaz, but I wouldn't mind if he goes. We've got Phil with us. Evening, lads. If Robertson does go, does that mean we keep Tsimikas? I would presume so. Gavin Morgan again. How many times would Diaz get his defender an early yellow card and the rest of the game not take his defender on? Gareth says I have a weird fin if Diaz goes. We will look at Gordon. Jen says if we sell Robbo, we need to bring in another replacement. Bon, I don't care if Diaz leaves. His camp have been trying to get the Barca move for 18 months. I agree with that. Joe, Diaz is a world beater on his day, but too inconsistent and he's not your or first choice. Get rid. Straight away. Yeah, 100%. Ed, interesting that Bournemouth signed that new left back. Yeah, that was reported last week as well, mate. So this Kirkes thing's happening. It's 100% happening.
I think I heard something about him coming over and doing a medical there this week or next week. So I think it's pretty.
Yeah. Gavin Kwanzaa speaking to Leverkusen. Apparently so, mate. Carl Jota would get great numbers if he could stay fit. I agree with that as well. Cranky JD, Kwanzaa is weak, mentally disappointing because he has the ability. Like, I agree with that, actually. Like, I do think that Kwanzaa's on his day is a really good centre-back and defender, but he's just not there when something goes wrong. Gareth doesn't rate him. Gavin, would sell both left-backs and sign Hato. M87, if Diaz stays, I reckon we will see the best version upcoming season. Fingers crossed, pal. Joe, best pound-for-pound signing we've ever signed is in Robertson.
Yeah.
Ed, what's your thoughts on Diaz leaving a pathway for Rio over the next couple of years? That's not a bad shout, mate. I didn't thought about that one because when he played in the FA Cup, he was quite a good player, I think. Anyway.
Would he be down as a homegrown player, would he?
Too young. He's got to spend another year or so with us, but you wouldn't have to register anyway because of his age. So, is that Georgie Kirkes is a United fan? That's the only thing. I didn't know that. Didn't know that he was, but Philip Ash, what do you think about Joe Gomez? I think he might end up staying, or yeah, I think he'll stay. I don't know especially if we get rid of Quams, I can't see him going. And Gavin says he needs our help. Gavin, what's up, mate? What's up, pal? Message me on X, mate. What's up?
Yeah, I hope everything's okay, Gavin. What do I think about Joe Gomez? I wouldn't want to get rid of him because he's so versatile, but the problem is he's injury prone and he may look for first team football. So yeah. Adam, let me know if Gavin's all right, won't you?
Yeah, I've just messaged him.
Will I go on about the other thing about Konate, guys, is that he's down to the last 12 months of his contract. Do we risk him not signing a contract and him going on the free? Do we hold on to him? Does he want the PSG move? Like, what's going to happen?
I personally think he wants big money to stay at Liverpool. I think he wants north of 200k to stay at Liverpool. And there's also a little part of me as well that's thinking that I wouldn't be surprised if he stays this year, don't sign a new deal and goes to Real Madrid for nothing. I think they're already in his ear.
Yeah,
I think now
we can't really afford to lose him this summer.
Can't force him out either.
We can't throw him out either, you know. that's part and parcel of being a celebrity now, Gavin, winning the inaugural quiz final, and fair play to you, man. Fair play to you. What a quiz. If Darwin's on his way out, I'd like to see us going for the young Canadian lad.
German lad.
Sorry, what did I say?
You said Canadian.
Why did I say Canadian? That doesn't even look like Canadian. German lad, Nick Waldemades.
Yeah, he's the German #1 striker, I think, right now. He seems all right from what I've seen from him. He's like 6'6". He's massive. He's only young, raw. I bet you could get him cheap. I reckon anyway.
Well, if we can get him cheap, that's absolutely.
If Konate messes about, then get rid of him, replace him, and we all know who his agent is. I don't think we can just. You can't just drop players though. Like I agree with you, but if the player's under contract and he doesn't want to move, you can't do it. Mm-hmm. His agent is CAA Stella, who Liverpool have got a decent partnership with. To be fair, like we've had a few of their players over years. I'm sure Fabinho is one of them. Let's have a look. So they've got Konate, Altonore is on there as well. I'm sure Fabinho was on here, unless he's not with them anymore. But there's a few players in here that have been linked with Liverpool over the past few years, to be fair. Camavinga, Mamouche.
None of them signed, though.
Nah. Yeah, I can't see. He can't be there anymore, then, unless I'm thinking of the wrong agency. But yeah, where are we up to then? Drunk Virgo. Is that you say that? Early onset dementia there, brother, for you. For
me.
We're saying Canadian and not
I hope not,
Ian King, is he that good without Verge by his side? I don't think he's much of a leader. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I know a few people that have died from that drunk, so I wouldn't tend to joke about
Gavin
that.
Morgan, the German Peter Crouch. Bond, selling it does not sign. It's a World Cup year. Konate won't want to sit on the bench. Yeah, I forgot about that, to be fair. I agree with that.
That's a good point.
You meant Robbo's agent. Yeah, we'll cover the Robbo stuff shortly, Jen. What was the other thing you want to talk about? What I'll say, I guess, to give my point of view on that, what you just mentioned is where we have said that, we've got, what is it? We can't praise them too much right now because of it.
Drunk Vigo's left already. Oh, nice knowing you, lad.
because of the what was I going to say now? I've lost my train of thought now.
Sorry.
Because we've been praising them about the whole Vert situation and everything like that, and we've said, oh, let's just wait till end of transfer window. Let's wait till end of transfer window anyway before we start judging, what's crack with who sells and who comes in, because we might get to a point where right now, yeah, we've signed Frimpong, we've signed, let's just say Kirkes, and we end up signing Frimpong, Kirkes, Vert, right? And then
Mohamed
and then if we do go on a bit of a selling spree, I'm not going to panic just yet because the window's still open. So let's wait.
That's fine. But you see that, like I had a few other names on this. Simicast, obviously, he could possibly leave. Jaden Dance, I think, there's a big question mark over him. Ben Doak, I think he could leave. There's a lot of clubs up for him. And I don't think he's had a fair chance at Liverpool, to be honest with you. He looked very good in the pre-season. Endo, I don't know what you think about him.
Endo's been quiet though, to be fair. Like I haven't seen anybody linked with Endo. But again, this is the thing. Like this is the weird thing about having two windows. Is the window technically would have just opened today. Do you know what I mean? If it hadn't been for the Club World Cup or roundabout now, anyway. So I don't know. Like I think let's just wait a little bit. I mean, I can't, as far as I'm aware, there's not been any interest in Endo just yet.
So. I hope he stays because anytime he's come on, he's made a difference. So I really like him as a player. I don't know, Bon, whether I think Doak is a good player. I mean, I saw him in the pre-season and he just looked good. Anytime I've seen him, he looks good. But we also have to look at he would be down as a homemade player, would he?
Who?
Doak.
I presume so, yeah. I'd have thought so by now. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean we can't really afford to lose all of them. That's the list anyway.
Can't see it. There you go. I mean, off that list, I would say we lose about 6 of them for definite. But let's have a look, see what people have been saying. So Jenna says that she would like Osherman. I think he's gettable this year. I think Napoli want to move him on, which in fact that'll tie into the next topic I want to talk about, which is Fabrizio Romano said yesterday that my mind today, that Napoli are interested in Darwin Nunez and that dialogue has opened up between the two clubs. Now, I'm not saying you can do a swap deal because we'd have to give them money plus Nunez to get Osherman. Do you know what I mean? But I reckon Osherman you can get him for about 60. I reckon so, and that's probably like a 50% reduction from what you probably would have had to pay for him a season or so ago.
When we go for, so that's Napoli. Sorry, I was
yeah, but the thing for me is his wages. I'm not too sure if I think he'd want top whack me. I think he'd want similar to what Salah's on and Van Dijk, and I just don't think Liverpool will pay that. But he's an option. I'd look at him, to be fair. But what if, like, have you got any thoughts at all, like, surrounding if we do end up moving on? Well, when we do move Nunez on, and do you think he'd be successful in Serie A? Like me personally, like, I won't be surprised if Nunez moves on and the next club he goes to, he absolutely rips it up.
I think any player that has left Liverpool, the career has kind of spiraled down. So I'm not really too sure, to be honest with you. I don't really have all that much confidence in Nunez. And I'm sorry to say that. I don't like, disrespecting the player that decides to wear the red of Liverpool. But I just don't think he's good enough. I think maybe they saw one good season or two good seasons that he had in his previous club and thought, right, this guy is a baller. And the only reels or highlight reels that we have is him being injured and jumping over about 2 or 3 people to celebrate a goal. The way he said Darwin Nunez and maybe one or two, several goals, maybe the 2 goals that he scored against Newcastle. That's about it. But he's not.
Nah,
I'm sorry.
Nah, he's not, is he? He's just not cut it as much as we wanted to. So Gavin says that Oshiman's got a 63 million release clause. He's on 400k a week. Yeah, he ain't getting that with us. And a dream signing for M87 would be Julian Alvarez. He's mine as well. I literally think he would fit the style perfectly, but I just don't think that's going to happen.
How much for what's the release clause in him?
Alvarez?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you're looking north of 100 to get him out of Atletico Madrid. And that's just to get him to the table.
I guarantee you guys, because I've been hearing crazy shit all over the place. People talking about Isaac, people talking about, we're going to be spending 100 million on another player. I cannot see that happening. I just cannot see that happening. From the point of financial fair play, number one. Okay, yes, we didn't spend anything in the last two windows, probably last three, if I'm honest. Sorry, the last two, not the last three. And obviously the prize money and whatnot. But financial fair play, number one. Number two, it's FSG. We have this money ball policy. And I don't really particularly think that anything has changed. We've just bought players in. And I think that's good to bring in new players very early in the transfer window. But now I think that there's going to be a fire sale, and I'm worried that we're going to leave ourselves short in a few positions on that pitch.
Well, I guess we can always look back and remember when Van Dijk kept telling us we're going to have a big window. So we'll just see how big it's going to be. But what I will say is, now you've mentioned that Isaac thing, I was actually going to sit on this for a bit longer, but you've mentioned it now. That actually has been doing the rounds today, is that on the Liverpool list of strikers that they're actually looking at right now, it's Isaac and Ekitike. Is that's who Liverpool are currently looking at to sign as the number 9. It's been going out on Sky. I think it was Sly Sports earlier, that Liverpool will end up signing a number 9 or something like that's next on the list, apparently, daft like that. I'm not sure if Gavin, you're the one sent me that, pal, but I did see that earlier on as well. I absolutely think Liverpool will sign a number 9. It's 100% going to happen. But I do, honestly, I swear to God, right, if Liverpool go out there and sign £100 million striker or something like that, I would be absolutely buzzing. Like,
I'd be buzzing, but I can't see it happening.
Especially if it's a name as well. But I mean, I'll have to just wait and see, guys. Like, it's first day of the transfer window, so let's see what actually happens. I mean, to go into another topic right now, the Athletic and everybody is basically reporting that the Wirtz contract signing, whatever it is, the announcement, everything might happen this Friday. Like, Liverpool seem to have a thing with Fridays this season, don't they? Frimpong Friday, Florian Friday. Let me see if I can find it. And I'll read it out to you verbatim what it says. Here we go. Yes, it says here that Wirtz is set for medical on Friday. The plan as things is for Wirtz to arrive in the UK later this week, then have his medical on Friday. Liverpool have agreed a fee, 5-year contract. The fee represents a club record purchase for Liverpool and would be a British transfer record if the add-ons are achieved. Blah, blah, blah. We know about all this. 16 goals, 15 assists last year. We know about that. Liverpool, Liverpool, blah, blah, blah. We know about that. Is that all it is? Right. So, yeah, basically just saying his medical's happening on Friday. So, he might be signed, sealed and delivered come the end of the week. What is it? What I was going to say is, I don't know, mate. I'm super pumped for this window. I really am this summer. How many times have we seen it in the past where Liverpool have wanted a player, but they weren't allowed to sign him because you've got to move the people out first. Now they've gone out there and they've signed Frimpong. Obviously Trent went. They're going to sign Kirkes, but then now we're seeing the left backs linked with moves away. They've signed Wirtz. We haven't seen anything about any wingers really, or any midfielders being on the way. So we'll have to just wait and see what happens, I guess, mate.
There's been a couple of I think a couple of windows where we brought in players and then sold players, as far as I know, but I couldn't say for sure. Do we want to go through some of the?
I'm going to just catch up with some of these now, mate. Yeah, so Where was it up to? I think
It
we need to
was
talk about
Ashton.
Endo. Good,
Hard
happy if
patch.
he's. Still think we back. I still think we back up for Ryan. Yeah, maybe, mate. Alvarez won't be available. Gavin's a hunch. It's Isaac, but won't need this summer. He reckons it's going to take Watkins, Premier League pro, and he's a goal scorer. I think he's a little bit too old now, mate. Just putting out there. I know when I say he's like 26, 27, might sound a little bit stupid. Oh, here we go. What's this? Okay, so Fabrizio Romano has put out on Threads. Alexander Isaac has been Liverpool's dream target since day one, but it remains complicated.
Complicated.
Yeah. Jen, we will not spend over that for players. Remember, Rich and Michael are doing bargain city deals. Minty, have you heard that Jota might be going to Newcastle? You know what? That won't even be a bad club for him, that.
No.
I would respect Jota going to Newcastle.
Yeah.
I like
no
that,
problem.
to be fair. Mr. Referee himself, Paul Turney. Good to see you, Adam. Looking better. Thank you, mate. Enjoy you both every week when I can watch. Who is your big lookout signing in this window? I want you both to be truthful, please. Ref. Watch out. I wonder what. Do you mean as in like what I reckon's going to happen?
What player you want to see? Well, I suppose we can go for both. What player we want to see and what we think will happen.
All right, okay. So, striker situation. Do you know? I hate everyone jumping on this fucking Isaac fucking train. Me, I don't think he's been that good. Do you know what I mean? Not 100 million anyway. No. Tell you what, right? I hope Liverpool sign Julian Alvarez as a striker, but I think they'll get Ekatike. That's what I think. What about you?
I'd agree, but what I'm, I suppose, more worried about is the, and I know I've said this a couple of times, but the centre back position. If we get rid of either Kwanzaa or Konate or both, we're fucked. And I'm gonna do a new segment on our Facebook called "Take This with a Pinch of Salt." So it's kind of rubbishing rumors from non-reliable sites, let's say. So it has been announced that let me just read this, and I'll hold on now a second.
Hold on, yeah, answer this question yet.
What question? I'm going to answer the question. The question. Don't you worry. I don't leave anyone hanging. Well, I am now. So yeah, caught offside. This is reported. Them Liverpool are reportedly set to move for Inacio this summer. Personally, this is what I said. Personally, I've been speaking about this player for a while and think it would be a great signing. But that's caught offside, which are not exactly a reputable site and are quite a lot of the time are clickbait. So I would like to see Inacio join. I can't see it happening. So the players that you mentioned, Alvarez or what's his name? Ekatike. Yeah, I would go for that.
I got it. I'll come up with one for centre back as well then. Paul Turney, Mr. Referee yourself. Guys, make sure you're hitting that like button when you're coming in. There's like 35 of you watching over on YouTube. Let's get them likes up. I think centre back wise, who's most likely? Tell you what, I would like them to sign Ousmane Diamande from Sporting.
Yeah.
But I think they'll sign Joel Hatto. But that doesn't mean that I'm not happy with Hatto because I would want Hatto as well anyway. But if we're selling Kwanzaa, for instance, and Gomez, that just leaves Konate on the right. So you'd sign Diamande for the right-hand side. And then I'd sign Hatto as backup on the left-hand side. So they'd be the two centre-backs I'd go for as well.
Because I'm really concerned that we may need 3 centre-backs by the end of this season.
I reckon if you need 5 centre backs, I reckon you sign 2 to come in and give competition for Konate and Van Dijk, for instance. And then I think you promote somebody internally. I don't know who that is. Like they're giving a contract to that. What's he called? Is it Wellity Lucky or something like that? He's a youngster. They're giving him a 4-year deal. So is he next in line to step up and be a centre back for Liverpool? Like we'll have to have a look at that one. Gavin says that Hughes only works on Fridays. Makes a lot of sense. Ian, Isaac is class, but given the massive financial outlay, he has too many muscle injuries. He's no Virgil or more in this regard. That's what I think.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Forever LFC, very happy with the signings. John W. Henry and Co. are helping slot out and our team. But be warned, FSG will want to recoup a lot of the outlay in sales. Slot even said he doesn't mind working with a smaller squad. If you work with a smaller squad, though, you can't challenge on all sides, can you?
Yeah, I think that's a ridiculous thing. I agree with you, Forever LFC. I've been saying that, and I'm really worried about having a smaller squad. I mean, you can't talk about the quadruple and then think that you're going to be competitive for the whole season, and you can't be competitive in all tournaments. You really can't with having a smaller squad.
Gavin says Isaac, I think, has scheduled groin surgery. Jesus Christ. You don't want to sign someone off the back of that for over 100 million. No way. Sesko, potentially, mate. Potentially. I mean, he seems to have gone quiet, doesn't he? So I wonder if Liverpool have been put off by wage demands or something. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. Phil Ash says Anthony Gordon still keeps getting mentioned with Liverpool. I can't see that happening. Like, he just signed a new deal. Gavin said he hopes not. Forever LFC again. Isaac's a good player, but 100 mil plus with a lot of time on the treatment table, that's the big issue in his opinion. I agree with that, mate, 100%. Craig, hi all from Canada. You'll never walk alone. How are you, Shauno?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Glad that you managed to tune in with us, and be sure to share the YouTube video or the YouTube channel to all your friends over in Canada.
And then Craig's asked, is really Andy on the way out? Well, we'll cover that now, mate. So Paul Joyce has put an article out, and basically it says that Atletico Madrid are keen on Lucas Digne if Robertson move fails. He goes on to say that Robertson has been identified by the La Liga side as a summer transfer target, with the future of the Scottish captain clouded by the anticipated arrival of Kerkez. Talks with Bournemouth on a deal for Kerkez have been taking place for a number of weeks now, and are now expected to accelerate, with the South Coast club having announced the signing of a new left-back. Bournemouth have so far been sticking by the 45 million valuation of Kerkez, with sporting director Richard Hughes seeking to negotiate that valuation down. Hughes was previously the Bournemouth sporting director when they signed Kerkez for 15.5 million. Liverpool's interest in Kerkez has been bought out of a desire for a life after Robertson, although when that will be remains unclear. Kerkez is 10 years younger than Andy Robertson as well, guys. Let's have a look what else it says here. Liverpool's intention would be for Kerkez to make the position his, especially given the fee he will eventually command. However, with Slot side looking to challenge on all four fronts next season, there remains scope for Robertson or Shimicast to play a significant number of games. There's plenty for Robertson to discuss then. He said last week he had good discussions with Liverpool over his future, although that does not appear to have resulted in an offer for a new deal. There have been suggestions that Atletico are looking to pay as little as 4.2 million should matters progress. Anything else regarding this? That's about it. So there you have it. Paul Joyce is saying that Atletico Madrid are looking to pay 4.2 million for Andy Robertson. Is that something you'd take, mate?
No.
How much would you want?
4.2 million? That's a fucking bargain.
Mm.
That's a bargain. I mean, what age is he?
31.
I'd go for 10. I'd go for 10. Yeah, I mean, like he's still a very good player. He's lost a yard of pace in him, but I'd go for 10. Try and get as much money for him as possible.
Well, as I mentioned in my Robbo video, there's something that's similar going on here, like because there was rumors as well that Atletico would only take him on a free transfer. Now, his agency is the same agency that's owned by Trent Alexander-Arnold's brother. Now, the pattern behind this is obviously we've just lost Trent to Real Madrid on a free transfer, though they paid 10 million for him, so yada yada, whatever. But previously, before that, they also tried to get Jordan Henderson to go to Saudi Arabia for nothing as well. Like they were working on him going there for no, but they ended up paying 16 million. So I don't know. Like there's a part of me that's kind of like that's too conspiracy theory for me, but there's a pattern. 3 players, there's a pattern. Do you know what I mean?
You can't dismiss a pattern.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. I don't think. I mean, there's a part of me that like, I'm just about to say, I don't think there's a part of me that wouldn't think Robbo would do that to the club. But you know what? Nothing would fucking surprise me because I didn't think Trent would do that to the club because he's a Liverpool born and viewing anything like that.
As I keep saying to people, there's no such thing as loyalty to a club or to the fans. I mean, if they see, it's their career at the end of the day. What they see is dollar signs, and if they're not getting their game, or if a young fella is coming in, they're obviously going to feel threatened. They obviously feel, well, there's no opportunity, and it's the same with Kelleher. Kelleher saw, well, right, I'm going further down the pecking queue with Mohamed Ashvili coming in, and he's went to go on to Brentford. And rightly so. So I think Robbo's look on it, okay, well, look, I need to play. And again, are Scotland in the World Cup?
Good question. Don't know, mate. Don't know.
Yeah, so like obviously he wants to play for his country as well. He's not going to really do that if he's not getting first team,
Yeah.
So
I don't know, man. I'd be shocked if Robbo went. I've thought all summer that Robbo would stay another year at least, and then we'd move on Tsimikas. But then again, as I said in my video, like I think looking at it, with no, passion in it as a Liverpool supporter, it does make business sense to sell Robbo now and keep Tsimikas.
Yeah, but don't go and sell him for 4 million, or don't allow him go on a free either. I mean, if they want them, pay 10 million or 12 million, and that's it. Do you know what I mean? Or you can leave it. I mean, I think he's another 24 months in his contract, as far as I know. So
no, his contract expires this time next year.
Okay, well then sell him for 4. No, well, I mean, we got 10 for Trent in the end. So I mean, surely to Christ, Robbo is worth 10 at the least.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah, I do agree. If you can get 10 for Trent, then yeah. Then Robbo is at least 10 himself as well. Yeah, absolutely. Even though he's probably a little bit older. Start with some comments. So Minty says, I hate how Madrid and Barcelona are telling players to run your contracts down and they'll sign them for nothing, i.e. Trent and now Konate. I know, man. It's how they do business, how they keep up with financial fair play over there. SGR, welcome over, mate. SGR, hope you're doing well. What about João Pedro to Liverpool? I think he's Newcastle bound, last I saw, but I don't know, mate.
Yeah,
I liked him, but Brighton want 100 million from him. I won't pay 100 mil for him. Gavin Morgan, sorry. What's going on with Jonathan David? He hasn't gone anywhere yet. I know. Surprised by it, mate. 100% surprised by that. Gavin says Pedro to Newcastle. 12 million for Robbo. Ed, yep, got to be double digits for Robbo. Bon for 4 million, keeping him, let him leave for free. I can see your thought process behind that. I reckon he's probably worth more than 4 million to Liverpool and letting him go for nothing.
In this kind of this time, with the transfer prices through the roof, I think the very least that you would expect is 10 million for Robertson. I just can't see, or 10 or 12 million for Robertson.
Yeah. Craig says he's glad that I got you all there. Was the Andy interview? John, Trent's brother is a bargain basement hustler.
Welcome, John.
Cranky JD, Andy and Trent are best buds too. Yep. Probably not. Are they as close as him and Bellingham though? We'll have to wait and see, won't we? Gavin, I want Liverpool to ditch his his clients this window, not work with them again. Rat. There was a list that was doing the rounds earlier on, and there's quite a fair few Liverpool players that represented by his agency. I can't remember what the players were now. A lot of them were youngsters. So yeah, there's a fair few that are represented by them. KK, Isaac Bomb. Not seeing anything that. Oh, I'm not sure about that Romano thing, mate. I'm not too sure what else there is I've seen. Cranky JD, disagree, Adam. Robbo brings a lot of leadership to the squad and he's worth another year at least. No, I agree with that. I do agree. But I just thought, looking from a PSR way of thinking, like, you're going to sell Robbo, get some money for him, and then you keep Shimikas, who's got a longer deal or something. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, it all depends on what Robbo wants to do. Is Robbo happy to sit and behind Kirkez? Like, Kirkez will play Premier League, Champions League, for instance, and then Robbo just plays FA Carabao. You know what I mean? Like, is he going to be happy with that? I don't think he would be, to be fair.
No.
Gavin, mate, I would let Elliot go. He was asked the other day who was better between Wirtz and Palmer, and he said Palmer.
Gone.
Well, you got to think he probably has seen a lot more of Cole Palmer than he has Florian Wirtz. Like,
Palmer,
and he was asked at the England under-21 setup thing. Like, he's gonna go for the English lad, isn't he? I don't know, but
you gotta be realistic, though, Elliot. Come on now.
In all fairness, though, I reckon he's saying that because he knows that if Wirtz comes in, that's Elliot's time done at Liverpool. Just saying, which is probably happening. KK, there's actually a world where we sign Isaac.
Maybe in a parallel universe, KK. I'm not too sure about that, to be honest. I can't, if he's about to get surgery on his groin and he's had like one good season, really, as far as we're aware, he's not worth over 100 million.
Let's have a look, actually, before we... Let me have a look at his stats, because I don't want to say he's had a one season thing and then let's have a look. So he's 25 years of age. He's valued at 120 million euros according to Transfer Market. Let's have a look. All seasons. So at his time at Newcastle, he's played 109 games, 62 goals, 11 assists. Last year in the Prem, 34 games, 23 goals. The season before in the Prem, 30 games, 21 goals. And then his first season in the Prem, 22 games, 10 goals. So he has got better every season, I suppose, by a couple of goals here or there. Playing in a Newcastle team that's probably not been the best, shall we say? You know,
I can't see him being worth over 100 million. I understand that most strikers would command that amount of money, but for having really one good season that we know of in the Premier League, I can't see that. I just can't. And if he's got an injury and he's muscle injuries and all that sort of jazz, I think we're better off with going for an up and coming, or maybe an Alvarez, as you said. But again, what, his release clause is 63 million?
No, that was Osherman. I'm just looking here. Newcastle paid 70 million euros for Isaac. So they're probably going to look at about 90 million pounds for him now, aren't they, to get a bit of profit on him. Let's have a look at his injury record, since we were talking about that earlier as well.
Gavin is getting battered for the joke that he reminisced over this. Wasn't too happy with Gavin's joke. Breaking joke? Alonso was taken hospital. He fainted in training. Doc asked, was it sunstroke? Alonso said, no, I was watching Trent trying to defend. Tough crowd, Gavin. Tough crowd.
What was I doing? Transfer Market. Right, so last season he got a broken toe, missed 7 games. Hamstring injury, missed a game. A groin injury, missed a game. The season before, he had a groin injury, missed 8 games. He had another groin injury, missed 4 games. In 22-23, he had a thigh problem, missed 18 games. 21-22, missed 4 games with a hamstring injury. And then a knee problem, missed 1 game. Other than that, nothing else on there is worth worrying about, I suppose. He does seem to be having a lot of thigh and hamstring injuries. Like he's had, going back to when he first started his career in 16-17 to present day, he's had 1, 2 thigh issues, 1, 2 knee problems, and he's had 1, 2, 3 groin injuries in his entire career as well so far.
Yeah, he's made out of Lego.
Where else are we up to on here then?
Reminisce over this says terrible joke, Gavin. Although Jen thought it was funny.
It's an opinion. Everyone's entitled to an opinion.
Absolutely.
Craig, you think that our looking at the academy players can step up? The only one that really speaks, that looks out, steps out, looks out, speaks out, stands out is probably Jaden Dans, maybe, or Ben Doak. Do you know what I mean? Someone like that. I don't know, man. Like, I don't really know. Like I mentioned the other day that if we sold both Shimikas and Robbo, maybe you'd see a left back step up, like a Luke Chambers, or who was the other one? Is Owen Beck, Ian Rush's nephew or whatever he is, something like that. Maybe he steps up. I don't know, as a left back option. Not too sure, mate. Ed, I just can't help that we would be devastating with Isaac up top, but other exciting options out there. Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. KK, you make a fair point, but then Ekatike is also 100 mil. Who do we sign? If you're telling me I can have Isaac or Ekatike at 100 mil, I probably would take Isaac. More proven. Ekatike probably is like a 1-season wonder, to be fair. He had 1 good season last year compared to Isaac, who's been quite consistent. But yeah, Alvarez has a 500 million release clause. Yeah, this is the thing that with Spanish teams and Spanish players, like the players in Spain, every single one of them's got like a release clause that's like astronomical, like something ridiculous. Like Trent's contract that he sign's got a £1 billion release clause, and ain't nobody paying it. You can come to if they want to move him on, they're obviously going to agree to a lower fee. But it's like one of them things, like the Neymar situation to PSG. That was one of those situations where Barcelona set his release clause at a point where they thought no one will pay that, but they did. So now they've gone even higher than that to make sure that no one pays it. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's like a law over there as well in Spain that every player has to have a release clause. So we'll have to see. Minty, I really think if Osherman would lower his wage demands, he would be very special for us. I agree. I think Osherman would be good for Liverpool, but I just wage demands, I can't see it happening, mate. Can't see it. And then Gavin's still on the Gyökeres train. I think he might go to Arsenal. I don't know.
But there's talks of Man United being interested. I don't know how Man United are signing players. I mean, according to Enios and Radcliffe, they're about to go bust in November. So,
yeah, I'm just having a quick look, see if there's anything else to bring up, to be fair. What's up, Romanos? I'd have put some out. What's his head here? So I guess this does kind of tie into us. So apparently, because of the whole Luis Diaz situation, so Romanos just tweeted out, all clubs involved in the Nico Williams race are aware of the player's desire. He wants to go to Barcelona. It now depends on the financial/technical decision to be made by Barca, but Nico has been clear. Bayern Munich are still intending to wait. I presume that's what he means by that. Thing is, though, Nico Williams, transfer fee-wise, would be a hell of a lot cheaper than buying Diaz. I think Nico Williams' contract release is like 55 million, but it's his wage demands. Like, his wage demands are like stupid. Like he wanted similar money to Salah like last summer or something daft like that, and he's not even proven. Like, you know what I mean? He's had a couple of good seasons for Athletic Bilbao. I think he's only like 20, 21. Do you know what I mean? I'm not interested in that whatsoever. So it depends if Barcelona can do it. Barcelona can do it. I reckon if he goes there, and then what happens to Diaz? Like, Liverpool have said they're not going to give him a new deal. So I'll have to see.
Well, I think, like, first of all, I wouldn't go for a player that thinks that it's a stepping stone to the club that they want to go to. Liverpool are bigger than that, in my opinion, the biggest club in the world. So I don't think we should go for players that want to go elsewhere. That's just my view on it.
Yeah. Trying to see if there's anything else worth bringing up. I can't see out just let's have a look what the chat's saying. Bond Williams, KK Saudi. Is that for Diaz, mate? Maybe. Gavin, I don't play a profile for you to watch. Sasha from Bilbao plays in midfield but could do a job as a 9. All right, I'll have a look, mate. Message me that player's name and I'll have a look into that for you. Anything else you want to bring up, Jono?
Well, pardon for yawning. I literally got about 3 hours sleep last night, so I am a little bit tired. There's not really much just to bring up. I would just keep my ear to the ground and just analyze the transfer window as it goes along. How much money we recoup from selling players, how much money we've actually spent, and have a look at that, and then look at the positions on the field. Are we left short with the backup? Are we not? And you tell me then from that if it's been a good window. I think so far it's been excellent with some of the signings. Obviously, Kirkes coming in. I would love to see, caught outside. How about that? Caught offside. Jesus Christ. I'd love to see if they're right about something and Inacio come to the club. Hato would be fantastic as well. But I think we may be lacking in backup in centre back. I really worried about that. So I would probably be getting in 3. If Konate leaves, if Quanta leave, or one of them leave, I'd bring in about 3 centre backs and a number 9.
Yeah,
that would be my view.
I do personally think that after Wirtz and Kirkes are both done, I reckon the next one will be a number 9, because there's a load of them on the transfer market right now. So if you want one of them, you've got to move now. You've got.
Do you think that's it then?
No, I think they do it. I think they do a centre back as well, at least one. But I think you get, the list of strikers, guys. I'd be looking at right now for Liverpool to sign. If I, as of today, would be any of the ones that you're seeing out there, like Seshko, Ekitike, probably Isaac, Gyökeres, even though I'm not high on him. I really am not. I know a lot of Liverpool fans are, but yeah, as Ed says there, you've got to get that striker sorted before pre-season. You need. We can't have a Nunez situation again. We need to get him in, get him trained, get him adapted to the situation, and hopefully they don't come in and get sent off in the first home game by slapping nut on somebody.
I think that's so important, though, to bring in a player before the pre-season starts and get them kind of to gel well. Otherwise, they're going to, have to hit the ground running, and the likes of Nunez isn't going to do that. So we got to be careful, and we got to be clinical with our signings. We can't have another Lavia Casado shite. We've got to stop pussyfooting about the place and just go in for the players that we want to go in for and get the job done quickly. Get it done. Get it fucking done. And if you need to sell Diaz, okay, keep Chiesa. Although I've heard Chiesa is going to leave for AC, I think. So that's another player who could possibly leave Liverpool. I am more concerned about the players that leave. I really am concerned about that.
You always like to look on the negative. Am I joking?
No, but I mean, it's like you said, you cannot compete at all guns blazing, and compete in all tournaments with a smaller squad than what we had last season. We just can't. We did extremely well this season. We had a few injuries here and there, but like unlike Arsenal, we don't complain about it. But I think we did well. Obviously, we did well overall. We won the bloody league, but I think it's tempting fate if we have less players in the squad.
I get what you're saying. I do get it. But I guess we'll have to just again. What we'll do, Sean, or probably on transfer deadline day, if you want, we will look at what's happened going out, and then we can actually make a decision. Are we happy with the transfer window or not? Then, really, to be fair. So look at some of these last comments before we get gone. Gavin says, I think Darwin goes this week. New striker comes in next week. I think that's a bit quick, mate, to be fair. We've seen how long it takes for Florian Wirtz to get done. It's going to be a similar type of money. Cranky JD, if Jota stays, he normally has a ripper first half of the season.
Yeah, that's my point.
He's been good, yeah. It's just consistency, innit? You know what I mean? And staying fit. Minty, what do you think about Matteo Retugi? Never heard of him, mate. Before we go, I'll tell you what, I'll type it in on Transfer Market and see if he's on there.
Craig Lennox also said the new Champions League format too. Absolutely agree with you. I mean, you're going to be playing more fixtures. So if we're to really, really be competitive and especially go for number 7 with the Champions League, because that would really piss off the Manx. I think, it would be amazing. Can I ask you something though, Adam?
What?
Have you seen Razor Ruddock's comments about Arteta and Arsenal?
No,
Jesus
mate.
Christ. I am after getting a bollocking off Arsenal fans on Facebook. So there's a video going around. He was interviewed. What do you think about Arsenal bottling it? Or Arsenal kind of, their form slipping and what have you. And he started laughing. He says, bottlers, and now Lego head with the excuses. And I swear to Jesus, there was a litany of abuse by some Arsenal fans, even bringing up Ruddock's mental health issues and alcohol issues. They might want to look at Tony Adams and Paul Merson, and that's not something to joke about. So, yeah, that got very, very salty. There's Martin Mason, brother for life.
Martin Mason, mate. Hope you're doing well. Gavin, if it's Ekatike, he's not going to wait around though. David Compton, hi and bye, guys. Yeah, I've just looked at this kid, actually. I say kid, he's 26 years of age. Last season, he played 49 games, 28 goals, 9 assists for Atlanta. To be fair, I'm not even going to lie, guys. I'd never even heard of him until someone just mentioned him then in the chat. I'd never heard of the lad.
What happened to you, Dave Crompton, in the quiz? You just disappeared off the face of the earth. Could have won it.
Cranky reckons that Hughes has spoken to Ekatike and they now asked him to wait. Apparently Chelsea are looking elsewhere too. Nice one, guys. Let's have a look anyway. Let's see what happens with the striker situation, guys. It's all up in the air right now, but hopefully we get a bit more stuff to do. So this has been the 7 o'clock slot, guys. Also Liverpool transfer daily. If there's anything tomorrow worth talking about, I might do another stream tomorrow, as I was doing them over the course of last week. You guys seem to enjoy them. So I might be back again a bit tomorrow. What do you think, Sean? Are you back tomorrow or maybe not? Maybe not?
Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, I'll come back. If you want me, I'll be back, man.
David, don't be sorry, mate. Don't be sorry, man.
I'm only having a joke,
mate. You're only joking.
That's all right, buddy.
Right, guys, make sure you're hitting that like button on the way out. Get them likes up as much as you can. We are obviously in partnership with Number 19 Apparel Co. As Sean is showing off the shirt there. As long as it keeps
2 washes. I've had 2 washes and it's still beautiful and still fits.
Yeah.
Still great quality. So
number 19 apparel for you guys as well. I like, if you become a member, you get a chance to win one of their shirts. Gavin, we have sent on your details to them and told them the shirt that you want, so that hopefully should get sent out to you soon. And I'm
plus
also
the
going to
most
send you that.
important thing, the inaugural trophy.
Yeah, I'm sending that out this week as well to you, Gavin. I've already told you that as well, mate.
Wow.
But yeah, right then, guys. Hope you all have a good evening. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back again tomorrow night, all being well, at 7 o'clock. And until then, we'll catch you in the next one, guys.